Hi, this is Corinne. I am going live. This is the Infinite Love Show, and I am going live today with Haize. So she should be on soon, and we will be talking about. She's a doula, and I also did a doula training in LA a few years ago. So I really love the birth world, and I think it's so important to have really beautiful, amazing women around you when you're giving birth. So this is going to be a fun conversation. She's also a student midwife, and it's something I always have been fascinated about. I wanted to be a midwife when I first started acupuncture school, but then I got deterred and moved into becoming an acupuncturist. But women's health has always been a big part of why I became an acupuncturist. Part of my story is that I had a cyst on my ovary, and the doctors were like wanting to do surgery, and then I decided to get acupuncture instead, and the cyst went away. So after 2 months of taking herbs and doing the whole thing, and it was a really powerful moment for me because I felt like, wow, my body can truly heal, and that's what really brought me on. So this is Haize right here. So let me add her to the conversation. Okay, it's connecting. Hi!
Hello.
Oh my God!
I'm good, darling. How are you?
Good. You look beautiful. I love the magenta lipstick.
Thank you. I was just thinking, I was like, your eyes I would kill for.
Oh,
You're gorgeous.
thank you. So are you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm good. It's been a very full day.
Really?
Yes. But a good day.
Did
Full
you
and
catch
good.
any babies?
Not today,
Okay.
but this week there was 3 babies.
Are you serious?
Girl. Yeah.
Oh my God. That is just so like, people are just popping out babies left and right.
They are. They are. These babies are coming through.
My brother just told me that I'm going to be an auntie.
Oh,
Thank
congratulations. Oh
you.
my. Okay, is this your first foray into
It
auntie?
is. It is my
Gosh.
first. I know. I've
Oh
been
my God.
waiting for one of my brothers to have a baby for so long that I'm just like, yes. And it was so sad. He told my mom, and my mom wasn't very excited about it because my brother's partner is white. And so my other brother was like upset about that too. And I was just like, forget about that. I just want a baby in the family.
There's gonna be a baby to just go.
I was, I think also the race conversation is up right now. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of sensitivity around like what it means to be Black and having mixed babies. And I'm just like, a healthy baby.
You were all in joy.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's a baby.
You're like, an ancestor's coming through. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. But first we get into this, let me have you introduce yourself for those.
Hi, I'm Haize.
And you are an amazing.
I am okay, so all right. My name is Haize Hawk, and I am a heart-led spiritual mentor, facilitator, and master doula. And I'm also a student midwife.
Nice. Yeah, and I saw that you're fundraising, right? For your education.
Girl, yes. Kimberly Johnson and Erica Chitty, they created that fundraiser for me.
Oh.
I mean, and they just like ran with it. Like I did nothing except be open to receiving. That took some work, because you know how we are.
Yes.
To receive is
Yeah.
a challenge.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's really nice. It's gonna really help.
Mm-hmm. How many more years do you have?
I don't have years. I have months.
You have months?
Yeah, I'm done. Except I have to. They added classes, so I got to do chemistry. I got to go to school. I got to go back to
Chemistry is the worst.
I was in school when I did all of this anyway. That was
Right.
4 years of schooling, and now they've added some extra classes. I've got to
Yeah.
do those classes, then I got to pay for the test, and then pay for the
Right.
license. You know. Hi,
Mm-hmm.
Rebecca. Hi, Cricket. Yeah. So it's going to help because I will be studying to pass
Right.
that doggone exam,
And then you'll be a midwife.
and not working as much. So yeah.
So then you'll be able to just see less clients.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll see how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm full. I'm not full, but I'm all over. I'm into October.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I wish
Yeah.
you were in San Diego because my brother's
Girl,
he's in
when
San
you moved, I was like, oh man,
I know.
you moved and now there's only Sunny.
Really? Oh
Is there
wow.
another acupuncturist who's African American?
There's Lisa Upshaw.
Oh, that's right, Lisa. So it's
Mm-hmm.
Lisa and Sunny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think I think there might be there's a male. I know a few men that are acupuncturists in LA that are black.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I only know Sunny. Who else? I know we are
Name,
so off topic right now, but we'll
his
get
name's
back, people.
Obele. He's in
Okay.
he is in my old office in Mar Vista. Yeah.
Oh, I did know this. I
Mm-hmm.
did know this.
Yeah. So there's him. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of black sisters out there doing acupuncture. Even
No.
in the Bay Area, there's not.
So when you gonna start training? When you gonna start mentoring? When you gonna see how I did
I'm
that? You see how I
actually.
did
It's
that?
so funny. I'm actually moving away
Yes.
from
Are you?
acupuncture. Yeah.
Fully and completely. I had a feeling.
Yeah,
I
I'm
had a
stepping
feeling.
more into like facilitating
Mm-hmm.
retreats, doing
Mm-hmm.
more energy healing, speaking retreats, like
I love it.
that kind
That's
of work.
necessary too.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
really
and
necessary.
I'm all about acupuncture and energy work, and I will
Yeah.
always love that. But I
Yeah.
just feel like it's kind of it's just too small for where
Yeah. Yeah.
I
You're
want to.
huge.
Yeah, I want to just expand. Thank you. I just
Uh-huh.
want to do more. Like I just want to do more, and acupuncture kind of kept me in a certain level, certain
Something.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rebecca is asking you what kind of retreats. And Rebecca, yes, I do placenta encapsulation. But she wants to know what kind of retreats you got going, girl.
Well, the plan is for next year, but I am all about helping people heal emotional wounds. So
Mm-hmm.
going deep into that space. So doing transformational healing work around energy and how we hold our energy and the pain pockets that we hold and how that prevents us from living the full life that we want. So
Mm,
doing that type of work, like
that's
ancestral
nice.
healing, cleaning up the lineage, like
Yes, honey.
creating, healing all those inner schisms that we've had.
Yeah. See, I'm doing the same, but with pregnant mamas.
Yes,
We're
you
doing
are.
ancestral healing. We're cleaning cleaning it all up, and so that especially if there's trauma, if there's anger, if there's addiction, if there's those things,
Mm-hmm.
so that the baby
Mm-hmm.
doesn't take it on.
Right?
We're not passing on no family heirlooms.
No, we're not.
Unwanted family heirlooms.
No trauma.
No
Well,
trauma.
it's so interesting because that was why I loved working with moms so much, because I really feel like the mothers are the heart of the home, right?
They
So
are.
once you can heal the mom, it can heal the whole entire family.
Listen, you heal the woman, you heal the family, you heal the community, you heal the city, you heal the state, you heal the nation. You know what I mean?
The world.
A woman. Just
Yes.
we'll start with one woman and all of that happens.
Right. So we're so powerful. So for me, and it starts with the mom, because I know for me, like if my mom had healing done, I would have had a completely different childhood.
Right.
But she had so much trauma, she just passed it on. And it was up to me to take up that mantle and be like, you know what, the trauma ends with me.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not trying.
And it's never too late. That's the beautiful part about it. The healing can always happen.
Yeah.
It can always begin. Just actually acknowledging that there is trauma or that there is some type of ancestral thing going on that you need to check, that starts the journey. There you go.
Exactly. And especially right now with all this racial tension that's up and people are like talking about it. And I'm like, yeah, these racial wounds have been passed on generations and
generation after all of this right now, this whole moment, which people are like, keep saying, oh, it's this upset of a writing, there's all these things. But for me, this is alignment. This is what alignment looks like. We've been so out of alignment.
Yes.
Now this is what alignment looks like. It looks like messy. It looks like,
Mm-hmm.
reveals, and it looks like upsets and things. So there's a healing happening right now.
Yes.
And hopefully, prayerfully, we all individually are doing the same work as we are as the microcosm, right?
Yes, 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 absolutely. I mean, and that's what needs to happen, right? Like, we really need to heal our individual space, heal our own wound space, heal our own psyche, our own DNA, to then translate that to other people.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's the only way it's going to happen. You know what
Starts
I've been
here.
loving? Okay, so what is going on with your lives, with you cooking? Like, tell me what's going on.
Okay, everybody on this call is going to understand what I'm saying. Is it all women right now? I think it is. I don't know. Even if it's not, because everybody's in the house. I have to multitask. I have 3 kids, and I'm still working. I don't have time to do things separately, but I have DMs coming at me left and right, and I can't answer them individually because that would take up too much time. I have to be efficient. So I am prepping my breakfast or the lunch or the dinner, chopping all the vegetables, because we're basically a plant-based house. And
Me too. Go plant-based.
Plant-based. I totally am. My daughters totally are. My son is still every now and then.
What does he cheat with?
Chicken.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but you know what? He was vegetarian until we went home to Alabama. Okay. We went home to Alabama to a family reunion. And one of my uncles was like, feed that child. I was like, he's eating. And he was like, I'm going to slip the child a wing. I said, don't you slip him a wing. Don't you slip him a wing.
He did.
He slipped him a wing.
And that was it.
10 years old. Done.
Yeah, that actually happened to me. I was a vegetarian for years, and then I went somewhere and they had chicken, and I ate chicken, and then I just went back to eting meat. And then I stopped again.
Yeah.
But
he cheats every now and then with that, but he's like, we're plant-based because that's how we're going to take care of our bodies in this time, especially. That's how we're going to thrive. And we forget that these are machines that are here to help us express and create and do our work.
Right.
If we don't take care of the machine, what? Right?
Oh, we're on the same wavelength.
Rebecca, you should do it, girl, because I know your DM is as full as mine. Rebecca's like, I should try that. I should start multitasking. Yes, you should.
I have a hard time multitasking like that. I can do some level of multitasking. I always thought I was the queen of multitasking. Okay. Like, I was like, I can multitask. And
I feel like you are.
I can sort of, but I just, my mind gets scattered. So I can be chopping and then like, I feel like I just won't, it just doesn't work.
You know what? Maybe you might be thinking about it too much. Because if I had thought about it, like literally I was in the kitchen and I was chopping and I was looking at the GMs coming up and I was making sure that the kids were doing something. This was 2 years ago. I think I started this 2 years ago or 2.5 years or something like that. And I looked at it and I was like, I just can't do it. I can't. And so I just put the phone up in my kitchen. And I said, Bodie, hold this.
I love it.
And I pressed play and I started. And that's how I did it. And think about it. I just knew I wanted to be of service. I wanted to help and I wanted to answer the questions.
Right.
How could I do that and still do my life?
Yeah. I love it. I mean, I love it just because it feels so authentic and it feels so you. And also why I love it, because food is medicine and it's so nurturing. And even though you're not feeding me, but I almost feel like you're feeding me food. Like, it's like I'm the mama, I'm making you food. And here you go, some food of love. I'm just
Mama Haize is sending you some food.
I know. I love
some energetic food, nourishing, some soul food. Absolutely.
I feel so nourished just watching them. Like,
well, when I did it that first time, I said, okay, let me get intentional about it. And so you want to know what I'm doing? I think this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I'm sending Reiki. For those who will receive it, because I can't ask permission to everybody who's going to catch it.
Right.
So I say for those who want to receive, I'm sending you Reiki. I'm sending you love.
That's why it feels so nurturing.
Because when I'm cooking, I'm putting that in the food.
Yeah. That's probably what it is. Because I literally am like,
Yeah. And I have to tell you, since I started doing it, because I'm so hyper aware and hyper focused about it, these meals are delicious. I mean,
Sure
I was always throwing down.
Yeah.
But I've reached a whole new level.
Oh man, if you ever are sharing your recipes, please put me on that list.
Okay. Okay, I will. I've got some good ones. I've got some good ones.
Oh man, yeah,
Absolutely.
that's awesome. Yeah, because we went to that plant-based store. What restaurant is it still there? Sun Organics or Sunlight?
Where did we go?
It's in Studio City, the vegan one.
Sun Cafe, girl.
Is it still there?
Oh yeah, they moved locations. They're a little further down the street.
Yeah.
But yes, they're still there and they're still good and yummy and
nice. I went to a vegan ramen spot in Studio City, like when I was down there. It was so good.
There's so many great places. My only thing is I want to make sure I'm not eating too much processed vegan food. I want the plant stuff, you know. But every now and then I'll treat myself to, like, you know what? Have you tried Atlas Monroe chicken?
No.
Okay. Let me tell you something about this chicken. This chicken, vegan chicken.
Yeah.
Almost had me hurt myself.
What?
Almost had me hurt myself. It almost had me feeling like, oh, did I accidentally eat chicken? It's crunchy. It's from Atlanta. It's called Atlas Monroe.
I gotta write this down.
And they will deliver. Girl, you can order it and they will deliver here in a package, all safe and dry iced and perfect. I know.
Atlas Monroe. Okay.
Atlas Monroe. If you Google Atlas Monroe and put vegan chicken in, it's gonna come up, and it's got this crunch to it, and it's seasoned really great, honey. I couldn't believe it, like how they packaged it when they delivered it. I was like, this is so wrong. Don't make it easy. And I'm trying to stay away from too much processed food, but if I'm cheating, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I know the processed food, the vegan junk food is a trip. It does not sit well.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you have to be mindful about everything. We have to be mindful, but definitely that.
Yeah. So tell me about.
Oh, hey Heather, my girlfriend Heather's on.
Oh, cool. So being a doula, I know. So you're one of the people that I always think of as somebody that loves what they do. They're like completely 100% passionate about their mission. They're just there. Yeah. So like, tell us like how you integrated your love for birthing and how you welded that into your work and your mission on the planet.
Well, I think. Well, the birth of my son, who's now 27, by the way, the birth of my son, girl, I don't know what happened. The birth of my son kind of changed the way I viewed the world. It deepened my connection to the planet. It had me become hyper aware of the elements and nature, and all of a sudden I could hear her. And around that time, shortly after that time, I became one of the earth keepers. And so we're really honed in on the planet and praying for the planet and sending it into the planet and just tending her and making sure she's, you know, between all the mess that we do to her, that she can, you know, manage to. Is
that like a group of people that you guys meditate and work together?
So Earth Keepers are all over. They're all around, and some people just declare themselves. There's not a necessary, you know, ceremony, or you know, there are groups that you can find them, but it's just declaring that how you be in the world is going to be somebody who's loving the planet and someone who's there energetically, because she is a live being. People forget this earth is a live, breathing being. It's got a heartbeat, a rhythm that you can feel. Like if you tune into it, it's crazy, you know. So when you think about it, the fact that it's a living organism, that it is actually something that is living, and we're feeding off of it like a parasite, right? Then you walk on it differently.
Sure.
You know, and the indigenous culture of the world always knew this. All the indigenous cultures knew this. It's just, you know, people got a little
carried away,
caught up in that industrial revolution.
The capitalism, man, just took over.
It took over. It's real. It's real. So I tuned in more to that. And then when I was delivering my son, this woman who was there with my midwife, she was a doula, and I was like, "What is this you're doing? You're saving my life. What is this?" You know, I was like, and she was like, "Well, let's talk about it later." And I said, "No, what do you call this? What are you doing?" And she said, "I'm a doula." And I said, "Okay, well, how did you do that? And how did you..." Now, mind you,
While you're in labor,
girl, I'm in labor. But she really was having such a tremendous effect on me and was really supporting me that I wanted to know. So I wrote down all the things. Mm-hmm. And then as I started my journey studying, I realized that birth is not just that one event. It's a magical, sacred event, but it's not that one event, just that one event. We are always birthing ideas and moments, experiences, friendships, relationships, all of these things all the time. Mm-hmm. And whenever I see a baby being born, I'm seeing love being born. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing, you know, so everything I do, the filter is the intelligence of the heart. And being a heart-led person means that that's your filter. Mm-hmm. And that's, so when I'm speaking from that place. When I'm working from the place of love. Everything I'm doing, whether it's cooking, cleaning, all this stuff. And that has become my philosophy in everything I do, and in working with people. So people who hire me as a mentor, a coach, the same thing, guiding them to expanding their heart place, because we have more room than we think. When we expand our heart place, we can be with more things and more issues. Like, it's very easy for me to post the things that I post on my wall, mm-hmm. and have it be received the way it's received, because of the way I'm speaking it, or because of the way I'm writing, because of how I'm presenting it. And that's all through the filter of love. Mm-hmm. And love is not necessarily, you know, I've said this before, this cuddly, sweet little thing. Love is fierce. She's a badass. She's, you know, she's a warrior. She's amazing. Mm-hmm. When I use love as my banner and shield, I'm totally protected. I'm ready to go in, right? Yeah. So love has that soft, cuddly feeling, that good, sweet thing. And then the other side, she's really fierce. So mm-hmm. even if I am in a conversation with someone who doesn't understand, for instance, the things I post, that doesn't understand why it's racist, or why this is anti-racism, or why this is important, or why this matters, they can actually hear me. Because one, my superpower is that I allow people to feel safe, and I make them comfortable to be their legitimate, authentic selves. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be mine. So we're meeting at that place, and then so a conversation can happen. Yeah. You know, and I think that is what I'm doing all across the board, and all the different circles mm-hmm. that I enter, is that I'm just allowing people to be themselves. And when you allow them to be themselves, and we might not change anything. I'm usually not trying to change anybody's opinion, because, you know, I got too much work to do to be worried about what's going on over there. But I am trying to open their eyes to seeing beyond their small self. Beyond veil, yeah. Yeah. So if I have done the work so that I can see why these people are doing what they're doing, and why people believe, you know, that Black Lives Matter is this organization. I can see it. I don't agree with it, but I can see it. Mm-hmm. But that gives me more room and more information when I am engaging with them. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, I have to engage with it a lot. You know, some clients are looking for me, and some clients are not. So if we've met on the phone, I'm a little more visible now than I used to be, mm-hmm. but I don't have a website. And so there's no way to see, oh, who is that chick? You know, I'm a little more visible now, but before I was just kind of under the radar. Mm-hmm. And so they would not necessarily always know
that you were Black.
I was Black. So by the time by the time I walked into their home for their first initial meeting, you could see it all over their face.
Oh no, that's happened to me too. It's so crazy.
It does, right? You can, you know, you can tell if you're the first black person in their home by their children. You know, it's just like the whole thing. So,
and we're Black. We're like
we're dark.
We're like chocolate. Like,
chocolate.
it's not like you can be like, well, she's kind of, no.
No, no. I'm from Bama.
Yeah. I'm African. It's like, it's just,
Yeah.
we're
What part of Africa?
my parents are from Guinea, West Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My family is from Cameroon, Benin, Togo, Nigeria, and Ghana.
Nice.
I
All
know.
neighboring countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Guinea, I don't know. It's interesting because a lot of, a lot of Black Americans, they do their lineage and a lot of them come from the similar countries, but it's rare that someone's from, I find, Guinea. So I don't know what happened. I don't know where they took place, but it's rare that their lineage is from Guinea or Senegal. It's always from Ghana, Cameroon. I think it must have been how they.
Well, that's where they shipped from.
Right.
So it's West Africa. They didn't go all into
the
other places.
But either way, all the same. Black's black.
Oh man. Oh my God. Yeah.
But it's interesting that you say that though, because I feel like because on the phone and my name, I get the same kind of thing. People don't assume that I'm Black, and then they'll see me and they'll be like, oh,
yeah,
wow,
yeah. But then I also, so what I do when that happens is I start a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, sorry, who did you expect? Lovingly. I'm like, oh, who did you expect? Oh, well, what is your idea of a Black person, or why haven't you had a Black person in here before? If you're open to discussion, I would love to know. We don't even have to do this meeting if you're uncomfortable.
Wow, you just go.
But if you're uncomfortable, why are you uncomfortable? I really want to know. Not if they're willing to engage, and you would be surprised how many are.
Wow, that's impressive. I've never done that. I usually just get awkward and be like, okay.
Yeah, but see, it's not. I don't get awkward because it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, oh, I see. So I'm not taking on what's not mine. Right, but
good. That's a good tip.
Yeah,
I have to do that next time that happens to me. Well, now like people that come see me, my website is like my face is bam. Like, you're well aware of what I look like when you come see me.
Yeah. I love that you're doing pelvic wellness, like the healing. Because it's such important work for women, and we should all be really stepping into it and embracing it, and all the men should be really encouraging their women and women friends to really dive into that, because that's the seat of our soul. That's where our wisdom is. That's where our foundation is. Our choices, our belief system, all those things are coming from that womb space, and people get womb amnesia, man. And I don't know.
I mean, it's also connected to our heart space. So the minute our heart gets broken, that connection from our heart to our womb is completely torn apart. And most of us get our heart broken very early, like by our fathers, by
something,
siblings, some family members. So it's before we can even develop our womb power, right? It got broken before we were able to experience it.
Yeah. Yeah, our womb work is so key, and it's something that needs to be going on. Hi, David. Something that needs to be going on for a woman's life. Like, it doesn't stop because you've got your moon blood. It doesn't stop because you birthed the child.
Right.
It literally, womb wisdom and womb wellness is something that goes to the last breath.
It does. It never ends.
It never ends.
Somebody, Kelly just asked, are a lot of women disconnected from their pelvis? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
Most are, not. Are. Yeah. Unless you do the work. I mean, you kind of don't even know you're disconnected from your pelvis until you do the work.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And there's so much stuff they don't teach you about.
Yeah. We didn't learn this and growing up. It's something I learned, in my womanhood.
Right.
But not as a teenager. No. It was a journey, and for me, starting to connect all of this was through my journey to through African spirituality and through Native American, not I want to say Native, Indigenous American, work, and that's where I started diving in. I found my opening. You got a question down here, I think, sweetheart.
It says, the one, I wonder if I'm disconnected. that the question you see?
Oh, it's a statement. I'm sorry, it's windy. Oh, Cricket's asking if you're this Cricket. Cricket, I don't think you're disconnected, sweetheart, from your pelvis. I think that you are operating in your masculine energy a lot, and then you don't give time for the feminine energy to receive and be in the forefront. But to build your business, that's what you did out in the world, is just drop into that masculine energy so you get things done.
Mm-hmm.
But what I invite you to put some time on your calendar, as much as you schedule for your business and you're going out and out and out and making those meetings, put some time on your calendar for the divine feminine just to really shine and to really step up. And that looks like nurturing, that looks like receptivity, that looks like letting other people take care of you. That's what that looks like. And learning and nurturing just your sensual self. Hope you got that.
Yeah, love it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that wound healing is so powerful for me. That's just like something I've been learning so much about. And also like just the whole, like what happens in that creative space, like being creative, just being, even birthing an idea, birthing a new business, birthing whatever, like just being in the process of creation, and
yeah,
how we can tap into that.
exactly. My girlfriend just asked a question: why did you choose the word pelvis instead of the word womb? Because it was more on the medical tip when you did it.
Because
you got a medical back. I mean, you got some training.
I
Girlfriend.
do. I think because I'm a practical woo-woo type of person. Like I'm very, very esoteric, and I love that world. But then I don't want to lead with that. I almost want to sneak. I almost want it. I'm actually growing more into it. But when I named the business, it was almost like I want to do energy work and womb healing, heal sexual trauma and all of that. But I didn't want to lead with that. So I wanted you to come in and then we work on it. So it's like that. So like I'm a practical kind of woo-woo type of person. Like from New York, like I'm very like, it needs to be something tangible.
You weren't hiding. You just were practical.
Yeah. Like,
got it.
Yeah, because I feel like
great question. I'm glad she asked that. I wanted to know too.
Yeah, because if I named it womb healing, I feel like it would deter some people that are very like
who need your work.
Yeah, they'd be like, I don't know what that means. You know, so I kind of wanted to leave it more open-ended, and so you can kind of be like, what's that? It kind of gives you curiosity.
Practical woo-woo. She's laughing at you. You're welcome, Cricket. That was a good question, Cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what? I for all the medical training I had now as a student midwife, I feel like I've integrated it pretty well.
You have.
Thank you. I feel like I have, with my witchy self, with my spiritual self, and then I got this little medical self over here in the corner here.
Yes.
And I feel like they've integrated really well, and I'm allowed to be myself. I don't have to worry about which hat to put on. I'm just
you're whole.
I'm always this chick.
Right. And I think I had to come to that space. I think this year is the first year that I'm like, oh, actually, I am going to just live that space, like that spiritual, energetic space, and be okay with it.
Yeah.
And the minute I kind of stood in that, I felt way more comfortable. I was like, oh, this is actually who I am, really. And, so it feels good for sure.
Good.
Yeah.
What is the next step for you? What is the next thing that you are up to with your pelvic wellness and your retreats? Like, are you bringing that aspect?
Oh, yeah. I'm always going to bring the pelvis aspect, especially if I'm working with women. Because for me, like, I think it's so important to heal that wound space. I mean, I don't think I know a single woman that hasn't had some kind of sexual trauma, even, the huge traumas of rape, but then there's like all those microaggressions. And that just sits there.
I have actually done womb healing with men.
Really?
Girl. And let me tell you why. So I didn't know that was a possibility until I had some people I just love, or brothers that came to me and said, I just feel disconnected to the womb I came through. Womb amnesia, right?
Yes.
Womb amnesia.
That's a good one.
Right?
Oh, it's a good one.
I know. And they felt that they weren't honoring their partners and they were, and even the women who weren't their partners, but they were just kind of going around, you know, catting everywhere.
Yeah.
And they found healing
Yeah.
through the work, forgiveness of their mother or
Mhm.
appreciation of their mother healed that piece. And two of them are like in full on married relationships with kids now. And
Wow.
the other three are in relationships and they've been long term and
That's
just happy.
beautiful.
I know, right?
That's so beautiful.
It's amazing what you can discover, amazing what you can do with the tools and the gifts that Spirit has given us
Hmm.
when you are open to it. Because, you know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that was possible.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm amazed. I'm bravo for those men for having that courage to step
Right.
forward in that healing way. Because I feel like I'd love to work with men, but most men that I've found, and I mean, it also could be me. I feel like whenever I switch my energy, then I get a different group of people. But
Uh,
I haven't gotten a lot of men that are wanting to work. I had a friend in Australia that wanted to work on his circumcision wound and work around that, which I thought was pretty powerful.
that is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's extremely powerful.
Mm-hmm. So I was just like, okay, cool. That's just like, just reintegrating himself, because at a trauma at birth, that just totally disrupts your whole energy field. So he just always kind of felt distorted
Yeah.
and not understanding why.
And I wonder how many men feel that, but just aren't connected enough to feel, to know that that's what's happening.
I don't know. I would suspect a lot. And I mean, I think for me, I would feel like the disconnect, like if you are in your mom's womb feeling nice and safe and warm, and then you get taken out, it's already traumatic, and then they're tying you down, cutting a piece of you off. How do you feel? How do you trust life? How do you trust your mom? How do you trust that this is a safe planet to be on? I feel like you'd always be vigilant and hyper defensive, and if you're hyper defensive and always vigilant, you always turn to anger first and turn to violence. So I just wonder if America is more of a violent country than most of other Western countries, because 70% of the men here are circumcised.
Girl, wow. Okay, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's even deeper when you consider that we're a country that was built on violence. The
Right.
people who came over here were not like people they wanted in
Mm-hmm.
England. They were criminals and people, dissidents, and people
Mm-hmm.
that they were like, we need to just let y'all go to the New Americas and get rid of you. And then everything subsequently has been violent.
Right.
So that on top of the violent act of, wow, that's deep. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to do the dissertation on that, publish that paper, start that study.
I know. Because I just don't understand. I'm like, why are people so violent? And why are
I
men
don't know.
so violent towards
We are
women?
so, I don't,
And I'm
right?
just like, if you like, honestly, if I'm thinking of, if I'm the baby in a wound and that happened to me, I would hate my mom on a certain level. Like I could
Well,
understand
why
that
do you
hatred
always,
towards women.
let me ask you a question. Why are you putting that with the mom and not the dad? Because usually it's the dad that goes with the baby to watch
I
the
agree, but but you came out your mom's space, so your
came out
dad
the
is
mom
there,
and she
but
was
you're
the
not
caretaker, caregiver, holder.
yeah, I think for me, I would blame the mom if I was the baby. And we're talking about male circumcision. Oh, what was it? We're
She's
talking
asking
about
a question about female mutilation.
we were talking about female. Then I would like. Oh, we're talking about men, but women too. I mean,
Yeah, women too. Not in this country, but
yeah,
women too.
yeah.
And I've
Um,
seen what that looks like when I was in Africa on
mm,
the female mutilation. Oh, oh,
I mean, that birth must be so painful.
oh, oh.
Yeah.
I'm glad that some of those countries have stopped it. Stop. You know,
Yes, a lot of them have, but not enough. But all of them
not
should.
enough, but all of them should. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's getting to that point.
Hmm.
But I really feel like if you interrupt somebody's body, if you harm someone's body like that at such a young age, I don't understand how your psyche could feel like this is a safe planet.
Well,
Like I know
exactly.
for me, getting physically punished as a kid made me feel unsafe, right? Like getting getting
Hmm.
smacked around. You're like, this
Hmm.
isn't a safe planet. So I can't imagine if something
Yeah.
got cut off.
Well, and also where there's a cut in your body, this is why, having things done to your body or open surgeries or remove anything like that, you got to think really carefully about it because you do leak energy wherever you opened. So if something's open, cut away, taken out, there's some energy leaking that's happening, some chi,
Right.
unless you're being mindful about it and you're doing the work around it to
So
help.
can you imagine your general, like, I just feel like that's just like everything.
It's wrong.
It's beyond. And
I mean, not to be judging,
but I just think it's,
I
I
have
think
work to do around this issue.
if anything, it should be an adult's decision. You know what I mean? And I know people say that, you know, it's going to be too painful, but honestly, I feel like if that's what you want to do, you should do it as an adult with your own volition. This is what I want to do. And you go do anesthesia and you do the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I do know I've had several Jewish clients who do it because it's a part of the covenant. Mm-hmm. And then I've had lots of Jewish clients who are now finding another way to honor the covenant. Mm-hmm. And not doing that. Like, it's becoming a thing. Mm-hmm. And some of the ways they're doing it are really beautiful. They're like nice replacements. Yeah. But even to, I've attended several breasts, and even to attend it, even though the ritual and the ceremony are steeped in love and it's beautiful and it's, you know, mm-hmm. It's still very hard to see. And even though the mom knows that this is what this is about and what it's for, mm-hmm. you know, she has trauma, you know. Yeah. And I'm working with, what does Stacy say? The Jewish ceremony, the baby is taken first from the mother, then passed to the father lineage. And then, yes, exactly. That's exactly how it happens. And the mm-hmm. mom is in another space and place. But I'm usually working with that mom mm-hmm. to release, you know, the trauma. Okay. And it's just, yeah, it's a thing.
I can. There's no way I'd be able to do that.
You can do it. You already know.
I mean, my family's Muslim, so my brothers, you know, all of that, and both my brothers got sick afterwards. They went into jaundice. One had a fever. Like, they both had experiences where they had to stay in the hospital longer after their circumcision. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I would, if my child wanted to do it, I'd be like, you know, when you're a teenager, an adult, you want to do it, I will drive you to the hospital, but I'm not making that decision for your body. Like,
wow. Sex and power, she says.
Yeah. I just feel like everyone should be empowered. Everyone should have their own choices. And it's interesting because when babies are born, the parents make the decision, of course. But at the same time, this is a little soul that is intelligent, that has their own intelligent system. So I always want to honor the consent of children as just as important as adults.
Yeah. You know, when you think about it, everyone is making the best choice that they can in the belief system, the filter that they have. And that is, and that's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. And then you got to let it go.
Right.
Let it go and let
go and let God. Mm-hmm.
You know, and trust that you are going to be able to deal with anything that happens from that choice. From that decision.
Raising children is like very, very difficult.
It is, but it's so fun.
You had a good time. You had 3, right?
I have 3. But I think the key is to know your children. Mm-hmm. My kids are 3 different kids. I can't cookie cutter them. They don't get raised the same way. My rules are the same, but how I implement my rules are different because of their individual personalities, you know?
Yeah. Just because you're aware, a human being that has done work. Most parents just do the same.
And you know, my rules are there for their betterment, but as they grow, those rules are going to shift, mm-hmm. you know? And then when they get to a place where they're making their own decisions and I'm wanting them to learn how to make those decisions. I don't want to mm-hmm. constantly be doing everything for them. I help them ease out there and make mm-hmm. some good choices. Mm-hmm. But like they will say to me, like my son came to me one time and he asked me when he was, I guess he was maybe, I don't know, maybe he was 14. Mm-hmm. And he asked me a question and I didn't want to say yes or no, or that's right or that's wrong. I said, that's an interesting choice. What do you think? You know? Yeah. And he was like, well, and I was like, you're going to make this choice. You have possible outcomes. The outcome could be this. The outcome mm-hmm. could be that. So it's an interesting choice that you're making that could possibly lead to this outcome right here. How do you feel about that?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, maybe I don't want to make that one. Don't want to make that choice. And I was like, you can always choose. You always have another choice. There's always another choice. I said, but that right there is an interesting choice if this is the outcome you
Really
want.
beautiful way to teach somebody something, because they themselves can understand the
Yeah.
consequences.
Yeah.
As
Because I
opposed
want
to
them
like,
to
I told
learn.
you so, or do this because I said so.
Yeah, the cause and effect,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The thing itself is just the thing. It's the choice you make around it
Mm-hmm.
that's
Absolutely.
going to show up how you how you are in the world.
So how old's your youngest daughter? Is you have a daughter?
He's 14. So I
Okay.
have my son, Jahi, is 27. My daughter, Satori, is 18. She just graduated this year.
Oh, wow.
And then my youngest is 14.
Oh, wow. So you're almost an empty nester.
Almost.
Wow.
Yep.
That's great. And they're all staying at home. They're all with you at home?
They're all here now because of these times.
Mm-hmm.
My son was, my son's been out, he's 27. He had his own place since he was 18.
Oh,
He's
wow.
been, he's been out there going to school. He went to grad school. He's doing his thing.
Oh,
And he just came back to be here while all this is going on. And then my daughter, Satori, is going to go away to college, but we don't know what that's going to look like.
What college?
She's going to University of Colorado Boulder.
Oh, wow.
I know, which is great. I love the college towns where it's just all about the kids.
I mean, it's glad she's
students.
gonna go bring some color because it's so white.
Well, it's really I think Boulder is pretty diverse. Have you been there lately?
Yeah. Well, I went there 2 years ago, and I was like, there's a bunch of. I mean, I felt like there was a few Africans from the school, like international students. It was a lot of Asians, and
Hispanics.
Yeah, Latinos. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but it didn't feel. I mean, it felt like a very homogeneous kind of town. Like we're all kind of hippie, outdoorsy types, which I love. I'm all about outdoors.
I think outside of the college campus,
yeah.
But they're really, that whole town is really about that campus.
Oh yeah, it's like it's in the center. It's like the whole. Yeah. I mean, it's gorgeous, like with the mountains and
it was beautiful.
And the vegan food was on point. I had such a good time.
Right? My daughter's so excited because she's like, oh my gosh, I can eat here.
There's a lot of vegan spots in Boulder, Colorado. Yeah. It's a really, I mean, I think as a college town, it'd be great. I would have had fun there.
Oh my gosh, my girlfriend Sherry went there. Oh, so she said it's her alma mater. That's amazing.
Nice.
I love that. Okay, I'll be asking you things.
So how has the I know because on your Instagram you've been very vocal about a lot of the race relationships and things that are going on.
Yes.
And how has that influenced your work with your clients? Because a lot of your clients they're all races. So
I have all races. I really do. Like my client list looks like the Benetton.
United Colors of Benetton. You remember those ads? What happened to that company?
I don't know. I think that company.
I used to love those ads.
The 80s. I know. I did too. They were really beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the United Nations, and I'm really grateful for that. It's been fine. We've had some amazing conversations with those families that were racialized as white here in America, and the families that are, African American. Just some really great in-depth conversations and very transparent conversations, and they feel like they can talk to me.
Good. Right,
which is great because you can. I've got a little bit of bandwidth for that. And just ask me some questions, and get an understanding, and just try to learn how to undo their education. And that's where it starts. That's the spot, like right there. Just try to unlearn some of these toxic. Look at me trying to put it nicely.
There is
just step by step, one thing at a time. You don't got to change all over everything quickly. That would be impossible to hold and maintain. But one thing at a time, and keep it popping, keep it moving, keep growing, keep learning, keep expanding your awareness around the whole subject.
You got a question, Haize?
May I ask Haize? Hi, Wendy. How do you call on the soul of a future child? I don't have kids, but would love to have in the future. I have dreams with babies, but also should the soul of a guy to come to, but also.
Can the soul of the guy come to? So like she's dreaming of babies, but not necessarily.
Oh, okay. So yes, okay. So okay, that's a big question. So are you, Wendy? Let me ask you a question. Are you requesting that your king be there with you when you're conceiving this child, or you requesting the child come and the king come? Are these two together or separate? She's like, I don't know. She's thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I have a couple right now that I'm working with that are bringing in the soul of a child. And what that looks like is consciously preparing their mindset for that, what that looks like. And it was a lot for them because they were very much single people who do what they want. I told them to start, when they said they wanted to have a child, I said, I need you guys to start with a puppy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're jet setters. They're always on the move. They're always on the go. They are very much wrapped up in themselves, which is fine because that's the life they had been leading. But now to do that and be a parent is a different thing. And especially for a woman to not have control over her body and how it's going to look and how it's going to feel. You got to surrender to that life force that you're bringing in.
Sure.
So I started there with them. And then once they had that puppy for a year, then, because they were traveling, I said, are you taking the puppy? Are you boarding the puppy? What are you doing with the puppy? Who's walking the puppy? What's happening with the puppy? And they were like, oh my gosh, but it's that mindset that needs to step into the consciousness. And then preparing the body. So Wendy says she would love to have the king there. Okay, so preparing the body as well. So your temple, this human suit, is something that needs to be nurtured and fed, and a lot of uterine toning work, a lot of herbs to strengthen and tone those uterine walls, and then emotionally and energetically, anything that's in that womb space you want to clear. You want to excavate all the gunk, all the muck, get it out. Anything that's clear it out. Anything that's in that root chakra. So anything that's from your family lineage, your tribe, your foundation, your belief system, things that you signed on to and just kind of took them on like a family heirloom from the way that America works and the government works, all these things. And you never thought about, oh, maybe I should think, do I believe this? You just kind of went along with it, right? So going through and seeing what's true for you. And then sitting there, once you prepared that space, saying, I'm ready to receive the soul of my child, and wait for the child to come around you. Energetically, they come around you first. You might dream, you might see, you might all of a sudden be really hyper aware of babies, or babies might come up to you and smile or give you something, things like that. Pre-COVID times, so that is very important, to call in the soul, literally in dream space, in meditation place, in prayer, saying that you are now ready to receive that soul. If that soul is ready to come, if that soul is feeling aligned with you, that you're ready to hold space for that, and you're ready to receive it and nurture and take care of it. It's kind of like doing a recipe. You need all the ingredients. You can't make an apple pie without apples, right? So you want to make all the ingredients there and available and ready, so that when you are actually calling it out. Now, when you call it out to the universe, you better be ready. Don't ask if you are not ready to receive. I'm going to say that again. Do not ask if you are not ready to receive, because literally words have power.
Extreme.
And when you are really aligning yourself with spirit and with your consciousness and energetically, that is a clear ask. That's a clear channel to divinity jumping in. And you got to be ready, right? And the same with your king, Wendy. The same with your king. If you are living a life that does not have room for your king to show up, or your queen to show up, if there's guys on here, or your queen to show up, that looks like nothing being on the other side of the bed. That space, open and free, right? Yeah. Not stuff on the bed. That means you have more than one teacup. That means you have an extra place setting, that you have an extra chair, that there is room for them. Like, where in your house is that person going to be? Like right now, if your king showed up and he was like, you're the one, I love you, let's do this. Can he fit in your closet? Can he fit in your house? Do you have space? You know, and it sounds crazy, but energetically, it's real. Energetically, you want to do the clearing. And that's for anything, for jobs, for friendships, anything. You want to make space and create room for that which you're asking for to come in and live and thrive, you know? Girl, no, tiny closet. Sweetheart, maybe you need to get a dresser that's just his. You can have the closet, he can have the dresser. But yeah, I hope that helped, Wendy. Did I answer your question? Do you need a little bit more? The clearing is so real. Janelle, oh, hi, Janelle. Oh, sweetheart, hi. Yes, the clearing is so real. It's key. It's important for anything. And I like to do clearing anyway, seasonally. Like every new season, I'm like, oh, what do I need to clear? What do I need to get rid of? What am I purging? What's happening?
Always.
Always.
It's like, I mean, every day it's like a process of like, okay, what can I let go of? What can I let go of? What's, what am I holding that I don't need to hold anymore?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wendy said his side of the bed is ready with lots of exclamation points. She says the male kitty sleeps there sometimes. Oh, okay. Oh, he's kind of witchy with it. All right. You better bring that energy over there. So that's good. Have you created that man? What does he look like? What does he do? What is he feeling? What is his traits? What is his characteristics? Like all those things.
And be very clear.
Be very clear. Listen, you have to think about it like it's a baking recipe. With baking, you cannot add things. You can't be all over the place. It's got to be precise so that it will actually turn out like the cake you saw in that magazine, right? So you want to make sure that you are, you're saying all the things, and not just what they look like or what they have, but also that they adore you, that they cherish you, that they respect you, that they want to see you grow, that you have fun together, that you laugh. Those things are hugely important, as important or more important sometimes than the job they have. Because you know what? I've met some power players with these amazing jobs, and I would not want them lying next to me. Right? So be very clear. She said that was helpful. Okay, yay.
Well, we're running out of time. We're going to be kicked off soon. So,
wow, that was fast. Did we discuss it's like any other things that you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, I mean, it's all love. We're just
a conversation.
It's conversation. But how can people get in contact with you if they want to?
You know what? On Instagram, I don't have a website. I'll probably get one. It's been decades.
I mean, you don't need one. If you don't need one, you don't need one.
True. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But I'm on Instagram under at I am Haize Hawk Rosen. And I'm on Facebook under Haize Hawk, and that's Hawk HAWKE. And those are the places to get me readily.
But to work with you as a client, you pretty much are word of mouth, right?
Word of mouth, yeah. I'm not advertising. Girl, I wouldn't know what to do if I did. I'd feel overwhelmed. Right now, this is working for me. I know. Now I'm gonna have to actually start getting some partners, and
Hmm.
we all work together, train together, and work together, so that
Yeah. Well, how many
everyone's getting a little bit.
midwives are
Hmm?
you working under?
Bliss and Debbie.